In this series, Practice the Presence, we are introducing 7 practices for an anxious age. The third practice I want to introduce you to is this: limit media. Now, hear me say up front, media is not bad. It can be incredibly helpful and enjoyable, and I'm all for it. But consider, particularly in this season, limiting media. We need to realize that there is an impact from the hours we spend listening, watching, scrolling, and consuming media on our phones or on screens. One study that was done 4 years ago said the average iPhone user is on their phone 2.5 hours a day. That same study said the average user touches their phone 2,617 times a day. That's a lot of touch. And that's just phones. Think about the additional hours spent staring at a screen, listening to the news, binge watching a show. So we need to remember something. We need to remember that media is often designed to do something to us. In other words, it's not neutral. Let me give you a couple of examples. News is often designed to play off of fears, hopes, and desires. Someone once said, the news used to report the facts and let you determine how you feel. Now it reports how you should feel and let you determine the facts. In other words, the news isn't simply informing you, but it's actually forming you at a deep level. That's what it's designed to do. Or consider social media. Ask yourself some questions. How often after spending time on social media do you feel like, wow, that was time well spent? How often does it increase love of neighbor or your love for God? In other words, does social media actually help cultivate the fruit of the Spirit, or does it get in the way? Does it compete with the growth of love, of joy, of peace, of patience, etc.? Again, I am not anti-media, and I realize the irony that you're watching this video right now. But I'm encouraging you in this season to limit media. If you're longing to experience in a greater degree the non-anxious presence and the peace of God, consider the role that media plays. Here's 4 suggestions to you of how you might limit media in this season. First, simply limit the time spent watching the news or giving yourself to social media. Give yourself 2 to 3 times a day where you can get caught up if you want, but the trick is this: turn them off again. Do not keep them running in the background or check it throughout the day. Give your soul a break. Second, consider deleting apps from your phone, or for a while, try taking social media off of your phone for a week or a month or the rest of the year. You can always check it again from a computer if you need to. Third, try turning the notifications on your phone to off. We have conditioned ourselves to have this kind of Pavlovian response when our phone dings. We just have to look at it. Remove the distraction. Learn to be present to the moment and to the people in front of you. Fourth, form some house rules. Here's 3 ideas for some house rules that you might employ. Number 1, no phones in the bedroom. A phone does not need that kind of intimacy. Buy a $10 alarm clock. It's well worth the money. Number 2, no phones or TV at meals or when company is over. Learn again to be present with the ones that you're with. Number 3, parent your phone. Give it a bedtime, wake it up when you're ready, because you're in charge, not the phone. Get a break from it at the beginning and the end of your day. The idea here really is twofold. Realize the formative power that media has on precisely those areas of our lives that Jesus is also after: our hopes, our fears, and desires. And number 2, limit the impact or the influence that media has on those areas on your day-to-day life. Reallocate that time to those things that actually fuel your affection for Jesus and your love of neighbor. In an anxious age, turn down that noise and learn to cultivate the peace and the presence of God in your life.